Hey everybody, welcome to Scarpad's Comic Treks. I'm Scarpad. I thought what I'd do today is give you guys a little bit of a look at my media room and some of the Star Trek and pop culture stuff I have here. So a little tour, so let's get going. Okay, first up, here's my rack of TV shows on DVD. I mainly, as far as collecting goes now, just collect television shows. Don't collect a whole lot of movies now. I've kind of moved down to digital for a lot of those. But for TV shows, I still like to collect, and I put them all onto a Plex server so I can serve them up without having to actually watch the physical disc. So I have my collection of Gunsmokes and Rawhides and Bonanzas and moving on to MASH and a lot of the older TV shows from the 60s and 70s, my Stooges. Oh, the Star Trek shows, and a whole bunch of other comedies and drama shows here, so you can pause it and you can see which ones I have. That's my collection of television on DVD. Moving next door, got my first Star Trek display here. I'm a big fan of Migos, love Migos. And I managed to, after years of trying to convince my buddy to give me his Migo bridge for a trade, I was able to pull it off. So I finally got my Migo bridge. And here's a mix of mostly new Migo characters and a couple of my ships down there at the bottom. And here's the Enterprise bridge with some of the crew members from Star Trek Enterprise. Moving next door here, there's another wall unit that I've kind of slowly converted over to doing figures. Pull probably the rest of this DVD to stuff at most of the time. And here's where I keep most of my Migo stuff. And I've set it up so that I can light it up. So basically, I have it tied into my Echo Shows, so I can say, Alexa, turn on the display case. And there you go. She turns on. So take a look at something close up here. I converted over an old baseball bat case I got at Michael's. And that's a perfect case to put in your 3.5-inch Trek figures. I have quite a few of those. That's only a portion of what I got. And then coming down here, I got my Migo Monsters. Love the Headless Horseman here and the Phantom and the Mummy. The It creature. Probably my favorite one of all, Nosferatu, Frankenstein, and the Pimp Dracula. I got a couple figures from Lord of the Rings and some other odds and ends. This is my giant Batman. And here in the corner, I got the 14-inch Migos. Migo wasn't able to do an 8-inch line of DC figures, so they could only do or a 12-inch line for that matter. So they went ahead and did a 14-inch. They're pretty nice. And you can find these fairly cheaply if you look around. The bodies are a bit loose on them, but you can fix that pretty easily. There's videos online that will show you that. And moving over here, this is where I keep my Sideshow monsters. I love Universal Monsters. So I have all my Sideshow monsters here. Winding up with the King of the Monster, which is King Kong. Moving over, I got my next setup here with some more Migos, the Fonz, and of course the Kiss Crew, some more 14-inch superheroes. Moving down here to some more Migos on a 3D printed sick bay operating room, which is kind of cool. The Gorn overlooks it all. Next shelf down, I got some DC and comic book stuff. And at the very bottom, I have some more Trek. Okay, next we have my shuttle collection. Actually starting off down here with a Romulan. And moving up to a DS9 runabout. The Next Generation shuttle. And finally, the classic shuttle, Galileo, my personal favorite. On the other side of the room, we have some Playmate figures here. We're starting off with the Tholian Web collection. Kirk, Spock, and Chekhov in their Tholian Web EV suits. Next, followed by the City on the Edge of Forever collection. Kirk and Spock in their 1930s garb with Edith Keeler. Next, the Qs. Well, I just say Trillane is a Q, but the Q collection. And we finish up with the Gangsters. Kirk and Spock in their Piece of the Action garb, right? Check. Okay, next we have my Starship collection. We'll start off with the NXL-1 Enterprise. Followed with the original NCC-1701 and my Mego Wrath of Khan figures. The NCC-1701A, the B, the C, and finally the D. And there's a little small F in there, which was an online-only ship. On the bottom row, Ben Sisko with a Defiant, Space Station K7, and finally Tom Paris and the Voyager, my Starship collection. All right, thanks guys. That's a little tour of my media room, some of the Star Trek displays I have and DC displays I have in the media room, and I just thought I'd let you take a look. So thanks all for watching, and don't forget, as we always say, keep reading and keep trekking.